Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And I want to call the Bruce County Museum Committee to order for our Thursday, May 17th meeting. And the first item on the agenda is to declare any pecuniary interest that you may have on today's agenda. And we'll move in now to action items. Topic 2A is the policy report. And Kathy.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to push the button.
Oh, you got it pushed.
Carry on.
All right, so this afternoon I have a few action items. The first one, as the warden has mentioned, is the policy report. And again, policy is part of our obligation to our to the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport as part of our CMOG, or Community Museum Operating Grant. So before you, you will see four different policies. Three pertain to CMOG, which is the exhibition policy, the integrated pest and mold policy, educational programming policy, and the volunteer policy, while it's not a CMOG requirement, is part of our overall museum policies. So they're there for approval.
The recommendation is here for approval. The recommendation, I'll read it, that the revised exhibition policy, integrated pest and mold policy, educational programming policy, and the volunteer policy for the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center be approved. Do I have a mover for that? Moved by Mike, second by Ann. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. Moving on, Kathy.
Okay, so the next item, let's get through these policies here. The next item is a request for transfer of reserve funds from our building reserve. So over the last few years, as you know, we've had some challenges with some areas of leakage from the museum roofing. In particular, we had been successful with putting some heat trace cabling on a couple of different areas of the roof. And basically what that just assists us with is the years where we have extreme ice and snow buildup, the heat trace cabling is able to melt that a little bit better for us so that we don't have this really big backup resulting in some structural issues when it comes to leaking. So what we were proposing, and this is an area on the southeast, I'll just show you a picture as well, the southeast back portion of the museum. This particular area, and you can see where the railing is, so that's a preventative measure so that the snow just doesn't slide off there directly. But when we do get an extreme buildup, it does cause some leakage into the OPG feature gallery. So our maintenance supervisor is confident that if we are able to put some heat trace cabling in that area, that would assist with the area and would eliminate the leakage through there. So unfortunately we hadn't put it in our budget for this year because the last 2 years it hadn't been an issue. This past year it was an issue, so we feel confident that if we're able to do that work this year, then we would be ahead of it for the winter season. So the recommendation, you want me to read it?
The recommendation is that the transfer of $6,461 from the building maintenance reserve account be authorized to install roof heat cabling on the east side of the facility. Have a mover, moved by Ann, second by Robert. Any discussion on the motion?
Okay.
So that went through like the process, you got some various prices?
Yes, so a quote was obtained by RKS, and because of the threshold...
But it wasn't a single quote, you had other quotes?
Not for this particular one, it was just through RKS, because according to the purchasing policy at the threshold that it's at, we don't need to get more than quotes. Okay. And RKS has done a number of electrical projects for the county for not just the museum, but other buildings as well.
Yeah, okay, so any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? That's carried. Okay. Kathy, carry on.
Okay, so the rest of the items are just for information. So again, our business sponsorship report, you'll notice that there are two new sponsors in this report from the Listowel area actually, and they are associated with our Alan Weinstein, who is our artist that's coming with the exhibit in June. So those are people that he's familiar with. And we had a private donor as well contribute to the costs of the show and the booklet for Alan's show. And then of course we have some pending sponsorship as well. But we're tracking very well on the sponsorship side for our requirements for this year's budget. In regards to the collection report, Council will recall back in April we had an exhibit called The Hallmarks of Humanity, where we had a couple from the UK come over with the Culrose quilt. Upon their going home to the UK, they got back in touch with us and they decided that the best place for this quilt is in Bruce County. So prior to us taking down the exhibition, they did reach out, and we are now in possession of this quilt as part of our collection. So it was a great thing to see the quilt come back to the county, but also that these individuals who had been caring for the quilt for quite some time had recognized the importance of the work that we do in the county. They were very excited to see the museum and the collection, and decided that the best place would be to keep this quilt at home. So it is now in our permanent collection. And in regards to the education report, again, children's education still very strong for us with the Eco Explorer program taking place. We have, I believe, one more session that will happen coming up for the PD Day, and there's just some pictures of our Eco Explorers. During our Earth Week, we partner with Bruce Power as well. And our education coordinator goes out with Bruce Power and does programming for grade 6 students, and that continued over the course of Earth Week. And then, of course, our Ancient Civilizations program was a quite popular program, continues to be, and this year we had over 263 grade 4 students visit the museum to take part of that programming as well. And there's just some pictures of them there. And then a couple of updates on some upcoming events in our education side. And then in the marketing report, again, just a brief update about the actual exhibit opening for the Hallmarks of Humanity. And there you will see Maxine Marsh, who is from the UK, and she was the lady who does the research and the talks on, in particular, the Red Cross quilt. So it was a great turnout. I believe Lisa Thompson actually discussed this quilt in the house as well, and it was part of Lisa's newsletter to the community. Breaking the Silence, I know that some of you were able to attend that exhibition. Very important exhibition as we take a look at getting the word out, especially during our mental health week. And this exhibition will close on Friday. But we are also looking at partnering for next year with the artist to do another installation, and comments so far from the Grey Bruce Health Services and the Canadian Mental Health Association were that they were very pleased to partner with us and that we are doing this type of work to bring this awareness and the resources out to the county. Tonight in particular, actually, is our Animal Gibberish opening. So this is this is an exhibition, our summer exhibition, focused on animal language. And if you're available tonight and can attend, we'd love to have you at 7 o'clock. We've got a nice little petting zoo for the kids and all kinds of activities, and it's a really fun exhibition. As I mentioned, Alan Weinstein from Teeswater area will be opening Alan's exhibition on June the 3rd, so hopefully you'll be able to participate in that opening as well. And then our programming report, in conjunction with our Ancient Civilization program, we typically do a medieval day, and this is for families and just general visitors in the area. So we had historical reenactors come in and kind of take over the museum. So we had good attendance for that, and we'll continue to do that program. Again, partnering with the Canadian National Film Day, we did our National Film Day was April 18th, and the library as well as the museum were screening film. And then we had a small volunteer program take place during our volunteer appreciation this year as well. And you'll see from the photos, we had a number of volunteers that also received volunteer service awards in Owen Sound earlier this month as well. And we went with them to show our appreciation for all the work that they do at the museum. A couple of events that are coming up, in particular, the next one is the annual wine tasting, and it's our 10th annual this year, which I believe is already sold out. And that is the end of this part of the report. If there are any questions on it, I'd be happy to answer.
Since Culross Township is within South Bruce, I know my wife and daughter, they went up for that quilt there, and there was quite a bit of talk around the community, and they were very appreciative that you have done this, and they are quite surprised, and we're very pleased that the quilt will now be part of the museum.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert, for that. I didn't see in your report about your trip to the west to talk to museum folk out there about how,
I didn't actually, but I will bring that as part of the next report, because I just got back 2 weeks ago, so I
oh, you didn't,
missed the cutoff.
haven't got the pictures developed or anything
Pictures,
yet?
no, the pictures aren't developed. Actually, there are pictures, but I don't know if we'll be showing them.
Oh,
Just
yeah, you gotta be
joking.
careful nowadays. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that.
Okay,
Thank you for going, and you're busy up there. She's a busy,
we are.
keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. So we do have one other item, right, which is the closed report. I'll just breathe in here.
I'd like a motion that the committee move into closed meeting pursuant to section 239-2C of the Municipal Act relating to a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Period. Any, can I have a motion to move into closed? Moved by Ann,
Okay.
second by Robert. All those in favor of the motion to move into closed,